Hey y'all, it's John Antonelli here with you, Cheese of the Month Club. We're doing a special focus this time on Caseificio Dell'Alta Langa, one of our favorite producers, one that we've been working with since the very beginning of the cheese shop. Kendall and I are huge fans, as you'll get to see in just a few minutes. If you haven't already eaten all your cheese, we are thrilled to be with you today. I feel very blessed to be able to be in the video today. Our cheesemongers are across the street hustling cheese. It's where Austin is about to get our first cold days, so folks are stocking up for their picnics, and y'all are getting it just in time for hopefully a beautiful autumn picnic. So we are doing these 4 beautiful cheeses. You might have noticed there's some similarities in the textures. Oftentimes we will have a mixed bag of soft ripened, firm, hard, blue. In this case, we're getting a lot of those softer, creamier, beautiful rind development on these products, because Caseificio Dell'Alta Langa really focuses on these beautiful, high quality, hand ladled delicacies. And you know, my Latour over here, which this will be the order that we need, it's a little drippy, and that's exciting. That just means that the cream line here is developed in such a way that it's ready to go. It's gonna have the perfect texture, perfect bite for you. Since I'm by myself, I'm not gonna go taste them on camera with you. Unless, of course, it smells really good and I decide that I want to do that. But I at least get to share with you why we're doing this. So as I said, we started with Alta Langa, Caseificio Dell'Alta Langa, at the very beginning of the shop. In particular, it was the Latour. We kind of call it our cupcake cheese. It comes in this little, beautiful plastic container, and it always reminded me of a cupcake. And now they've transitioned to little more cardboard pieces. Packaging. It's amazing the innovations in cheese packaging. But in those early days, it was this little cup, and it was happiness. And so we always really loved having it. Latour is a 3-milk cheese. It's going to have a chalky interior, this beautiful cream line, this rind that just kind of wants to fall apart. It's very wet. When you're touching it, I can see that when we plated it, we broke a little bit of the rind. When I was in France, I got to handle some of these cheeses in aging, and it's amazing. You have to be so uber delicate, because once you break the rind, then the cheese doesn't mature the way it's supposed to. But you can see here on my piece, I don't want to pick it up, well, it's all over my fingers now. Oh, that's good. That's good. Great salt. I'll get a little bit going here. I don't know how I'm gonna eat and taste at the same time, but I'm gonna give it a shot, or eat and talk at the same time. Give me a second while I enjoy this. That is wonderful. You get a little bit of the mushroom in there, big salt content, little hint of bitterness in this particular piece. This cheesemaker is in the very northwest of Italy, in the top of the boot in the Piedmont. Kendall and I had the pleasure in 2017 to travel there with our kiddos. When I was the president of the American Cheese Society, I was invited to speak at the Bra Slow Cheese Festival. It's the largest cheese festival in the world. And I got to speak there, and we traveled through the area. This is where Barolo, Barbaresco, Moscato di Asti come from. Truffles are a big hit up in that part, Piemontese truffles. And this kind of cheese just goes really well with all those flavor profiles. We paired it, if you got the deluxe box, with the salted malted 70% chocolate from Dark Forest. It's such an incredible bar. Usually the way I'll eat it is just smear the cheese on the chocolate and make a little sandwich out of it. So delicious. The next cheese that we have is the Robiola Bosina. This is currently in my kids' top 5 cheese right now. Our kids are wonderful and they're amazing, but when it comes to cheese, they have particular tastes, and they want the best flavors. And right now they're really into Robiola Bosina, specifically a baguette with Robiola on it and prosciutto di Parma or jamon serrano. That is their jam, and they are really upset when we don't deliver every Tuesday afternoon after school. But what we see here, we're starting to develop a slightly different rind. The last one was so delicate, it was hard to pick up. This one, much firmer, actually quite thicker. You can see the rind development there. It's got more of that texture of brie. The first one was chalky. This one is all creamline. And we love this because this one has a bit more vegetal punch to it. It's a great melter. Oh, it's delicious right now. Good. It's like just got a little bit of funk, but the cream line or the creamy center is amazing. This particular piece has the flavor of olive to it, which is really, well, not all olives, but these castlevetranos here that we included in the Deluxe, you get that flavor of olive oil. The Robiola really does deliver some of that, the phenols and things on your palate when you're tasting. So this one's really spectacular. That brings us to our third cheese here, which is Canet. I think I'm pronouncing it right. We'll find out at some point in the future when we revisit. This is one of the newer cheeses to us. I remember tasting it for the first time, I think about 2 years ago at the American Cheese Society. I think it was either last year or 2 years ago. But it's a really cool, it's sort of like a gateway blue cheese. You've got a gateway wash rind. You can see this really orange tone to it. This is actually rubbed in annatto. Oftentimes a wash rind is going to have brevibacterial linens, which we might have some of that developing on the outside, but they're also washing it in annatto, and that is possibly familiar to you from like orange cheddars and such. But again, you can see different styles of these soft ripened, really creamy, slightly washed rind cheeses, and they are doing an exceptional job. When I cut into this one, you can see the cheese is just sticking to the knife on the inside. This is, it's almost perfect. We should send this to the Texas State Fair and have them deep fry it. That would be a perfect deep fried mozzarella, like cheese stick right there. Sorry, tangent. But this one is gonna give you some, again, similar flavor profiles. I would expect a little bit more saltiness because of the washing, but let's find out. No, not as salty as the tour was actually today. But delicious, delectable, real easy on the palate. Don't forget to breathe out as you're tasting it. I'm talking, so the air is flowing over my olfactory as I'm getting to experience a lot of big, bold flavors. This is when I would switch if you did do some of the other wine pairings. That first Asti is going to present on the palate a little bit sweeter, and we play with some of these the white rinded cheeses here. As we move to the Sangiovese, this red bottle, this Poggio Anime, I would tend to lean into, this particular slightly washed cheese, this baby washed cheese, and then our 3 milk truffle cheese. Truffle, big, bold, beautiful flavors. This is black truffle, so this is coming from, that's so good. This is coming, again, from the region. They're just showcasing products that work really well together. We like to think that products that grow together go together, and so when wines and cheeses and meats and vegetation became really popular in a certain region, and people started cooking with them, harvesting them, growing, they just became part of the culture. And in the Piedmont, this is, a spectacular example of that. So I'm gonna cut into it and have a little sample here. And before I do, the other pairing that we had with the Deluxe box was a soppressata, so an Italian style sliced salami. This is actually made by Olli in California. They're one of our favorite meat producers. They just Olivetti just does a great job. His family was in salumi in Italy for a long time, and now he's taking the craft to California. That's wonderful. So if you like truffle, that's wonderful. I think my camera person was just saying I had food all over my face, maybe. I don't know. It's eating and talking is really hard, but I can do it. I promised the team that I could. That is magnificent. It's not just any camera person, it is a Kendall. But that cheese right there, that is awesome. Creamy. Palate coating. The truffle is super subtle. It's not like truffle oil that's just like gonna knock you over the face, hit you over the face and slap you or whatever. This is just really subtle. The truffle is almost already gone off the palate, which is amazing. And so I tend to prefer the delicate nature of truffle, very aromatic, rather than just that bold single knock right in the stomach. I'm gonna have another bite of this. And so I hope this gives you an impression of classic approaches of cheese making in the Piedmont. Piedmont Robiolas are usually young, soft ripened, delicate, and they've given us a couple of really cool examples to play with that provide such an amazing balance of flavor, great different textures. I don't know if you're going to eat them all at once, or you might want to eat one at a time. But if you have any left over, definitely prosciutto sandwiches, my kids would just go nuts for. You can cook these into dishes with like potatoes au gratin, things like that. Melted over pretty much anything. The Robiola will just be spectacular. And the truffle, gosh, I'm really excited about that. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this yet, but I am going to finish it pretty darn soon. So thank you for being a member of our club. Kendall and I are so very grateful for your support. We get to live our passion every day, get to live our purpose of spreading joy here at the business every day, raise our family and cheese. And that's thanks to folks like you that are committed to doing good and eating good and being a part of this story with us. Really, we couldn't do it without you, and it's not worth doing without you either. So thank you for everything. And we hope that you love October's Cheese Club selection, and we look forward to chatting with you in November. Thank you.